Hey guys, DPG here, David Patrick Green. And I have such a powerful piece of information for you. It's actually almost hard to explain it so that you'll understand it and you won't say, "You're crazy, David," which is actually the way my mastermind group was looking at me the other night when I was trying to explain this concept to them. First of all, before I get to it, if you are looking to work with someone in the field of acting, both in the technical aspects, auditioning, script analysis, all that, yes, I can do all that very, very well. But more in terms of what are you going to do with your career, and strategically speaking, how should you even look at an acting career, and how do you pursue it so that you aren't sort of behaving at the whims of others, trying to always please others, and in doing so end up pleasing nobody. And it's funny that I just said trying to please others because really that's what today's talk is. But if you do want to work with somebody like myself, preferably myself, hit me up, David at hackhollywood.com or DPG at davidpatrickgreen.com. Okay, so what am I talking about? I'm talking about being in charge of your life and being in charge of your career, meaning taking a leadership role in your own life. I know that sounds kind of crazy because if you're not in charge, who is? But really, most people try to put other people in charge of their lives, right? You get a job, you're told what to do. It's just less stress that way, and you know you're not going to get in trouble. Why are we always trying to do what other people want us to do? Because it's basic biological survival technique, right? If you do what the herd is doing, you figure somebody in the herd must know what we're doing, right? And maybe people in the herd do understand the concept of safety in numbers, but the lion is still going to eat somebody. So whether you're alone in the Serengeti or part of a herd of wildebeests or water buffalo, the lions are going to find somebody. So, that may not be the best strategy to behave like the herd. It certainly doesn't work in acting. So let me talk to you about this concept. I was in my mastermind call the other night, and one of my clients, who's very talented and is booking professional jobs and definitely auditioning for them frequently, was approached by an agent via one of the online submission services. She had put herself as, I guess, available or something like that to agents. And she already has a manager. She's based in New York City. And I don't know why she hadn't been looking specifically for an agent, because that's what I would be telling people. If they want an agent and if they have good reason to get an agent, then you should be in charge of that. Personal responsibility, right? Leadership of self. Instead, she put herself as available, sort of like a dating site, and hoped, I guess, rather than taking charge, hoped someone would come to her. Someone did come to her, which in and of itself is a little problematic, but the main problem with this scenario was after she explained it, the way she explained it was this person had approached her. I don't know that they had any particular rationale for why they wanted to represent her, but in the conversation they had, this person basically said, "I like to work fast, so, you got to make a fast decision." It was all about fast. Pilot season's ending soon, so, we got to go fast. And it's funny because not only she sort of took the bait on this, but even the other members of my mastermind group, who are supposed to be masterminds, right? They should be able to think rationally about this. But apparently their egos they basically took her place and were like, if an agent was approaching me, I'd want to take them, And I was like, thanks a lot, guys. But what I explained was, first of all, you should have an agent relationship, ideally, that lasts you for the rest of your life. If they're doing their job and you're doing your job and you're both happy with the job each one of you is doing, then why would you ever leave that agent? And if that's the case, then why would anybody start talking about what's going to happen next week or next month? Like, we got to hurry because otherwise you're going to miss pilot season. I mean, that may sound actually appropriate if you're a beginner because you've been told so many times about pilot season. So I'm going to shed a lot of light on a lot of things in this. So listen up, because at the end, I'm going to really let you know why this is extremely important. So this person is making a big deal out of the timing and all of this, and let me see your materials, and we got to move fast. And they didn't give any specific reason to. And I said, well, did you do your homework on this person? Yeah. Oh, what did you find? What was their history? Could you find much on them? No. And I was like, why would you even consider being represented by someone that you can't find any track record on, is not explaining to you exactly why they want to represent you and why you should allow them to represent you? Why are they different? Instead, it became, and I wouldn't be surprised if the agent took advantage of this, it became the old, oh my gosh, it's an opportunity. It was FOMO, fear of missing out. When somebody likes you, you kind of want to grab it because they may go away and there may never be anyone else. And that's what it feels like for the individual. But if you're objectively speaking, if you look at how many acting jobs are out there and how many actors are out there, there's an infinite number of opportunities swirling around the universe at any one time, and there's more and more coming all the time. In fact, the number of TV shows that are being scripted and written is just accelerating at a ridiculously rapid rate as all these streaming services pop up. Now, is there going to be consolidation? I'm sure there will. But the demand for acted digital entertainment is not going anywhere for a long, long time. We have multiple languages. We have countries all around the world. I mean, it's just, the possibilities are endless. So the idea that there's some, risk to not signing today for anybody, whether it's the agent or you, is ridiculous. Okay, it's completely preposterous. So there's that. And the fact that this person didn't really explain to my client any differentiations, just sort of took her for whatever this person saw in her materials without much of a conversation. Like, what are you doing when you're not auditioning? What are you doing to further your career? Do you have relationships? Are you developing relationships? How involved are you in the entertainment business? How committed are you? These are the more important questions than, we got to get you out now. Because basically what that sounds is like, okay, you're the flavor of the month, which she kind of is, but I think she's going to be flavor of the month for a long time. And he's trying to make a quick buck offer. And if it doesn't work, he's going to dump her like yesterday's breakfast. And if it does work out, great. But this is somebody who's probably never going to really get to the higher levels because they clearly don't understand the whole relationship model. And if you look at the more successful people in this business, they are very focused on relationships, and they are also very focused on, how shall I say it, on always doing good, because it's a very relationship and reputationally based business, right? You're only going to get hired and referred and recommended to people if they enjoyed working with you, if they think you have talent, if you are, willing to work hard and you show up on time and you show up when you say you will and you really bring the goods. Okay? So that's the nature of the entertainment business. And you've got this person who says, we got to work fast. That's crazy to me. Okay? So if you allow yourself to be chosen, this is the kind of thing that can happen. So here's the alternative. Here's what I believe my client should be doing. And I explained this to her. I'm not sure if I explained it to her in a way she got it, she heard it, because she was so scared of losing the opportunity. But the way I explained it to her was, listen, ask yourself who the most successful people in this business are, or who are the most successful people in life. I actually explained this to a different client because I don't know how I explained it to her. But I said, who do you want to work with most? And he said, Steven Spielberg. And I said, okay, So do you think Steven Spielberg has a lot of space for randomness in his life? Or does he have his life pretty much planned out and figured out? He knows who he's going to be working with probably for the next 12 to 24 months. He also has his friends. He's got his family. He knows who he trusts. Does he meet new people? Of course. But if you approach Steven Spielberg and said something like, hey, I've got this great project. It's amazing. It's the best thing you've ever written. But, you've got to drop whatever you're doing and you've got to do it with me now. Do you think he's got a lot of space in his life for that? Do you think anybody really successful has a lot of space for that kind of randomness? And I'm guessing you're saying no, and hopefully you're saying no, but if you don't understand it, it's the reason these people are successful is because they are focused and they see things through to their logical conclusion. They aren't always successful, but they see things through. They decide, okay, I'm going to do this. So they exhaust all options and get out of it what they can. So, in Steven Spielberg's case, he gets a movie made. Whether it makes money or not, who's to say? But he gets the thing done if he can. I'm sure he's had movies that he couldn't get off the ground. Maybe somebody else did, but I wouldn't be surprised if he has some projects that he's been working on in the background for 20 years before they ever got off the ground. And what is the point of me telling you about Steven Spielberg? Well, the point is he's in charge. He is the leader of his life, and he fills his time, his schedule, with the things that are important to him, that he decided are important to him. And there's very little chance for somebody random to enter his life to the extent that he's going to think it's going to be better to leave what he has carefully planned, what he loves to do, and who he loves to spend time with, and ditch it all for some rando person. Which is exactly the type of person that approached my client, is a completely random person. So my advice to you is that you take the model of Steven Spielberg or people like that, and you decide what you want in your life, and then you figure out what are the things you're going to do to get that, and you choose who the people you are that you would like to connect with to make all this happen. And that includes agents, but you decide which agents you're going after based on what you can find out about them and what you know about yourself and how you believe you would be a good fit for this person, and then you do the sales job on them rather than waiting for random people and getting all excited and feeling like you're going to miss out because some stranger approached you who you have no idea what their track record is. You have no idea what they'd be like to work with. And they're not offering that information. They're not even giving a rationale of why you should work with them. So I suggest you take the Steven Spielberg successful person model. Same with Bill Gates or Steve Jobs or anybody that has accomplished a lot. They got focused. They said, this is what I want to do. Bill Gates became a really good programmer. Then he thought, hey, I got this piece of software. I think it's better than what's out there. It's called Windows. It's like a graphical user interface. Let me see what I can do with that. And he made Windows, then he made Microsoft because he just started fixing problems that he saw, and he kept doing it. And now he's got a new thing, and that is solving, world disease, things like that. So he isn't easily distracted by shiny things or people who are flattering him saying, oh, you're really good looking, you're really talented. Give up solving the world's, diseases or vaccine problems and, come and start an airline with me. He knows that he's got to see things through first. And then when that's done, maybe he'll move on. But he's going to be the one that decides. Or maybe one of his friends could refer him to somebody or something and say, hey, what do you think of this? And he's going to go, well, present the case to me, right? And then he's going to analyze it, and he's going to try and poke holes in it. And he's going to make the person show him where all the holes are and how they're going to get filled. And that's how maybe eventually he would say, yeah, you know what, Warren Buffett, one of the richest people in the world, or, what's his name? Or, maybe Jeff Bezos or somebody like that, Richard Branson. Oh, you want me to start an airline with you? You want me to go to space with you? Okay, well, let's talk about it. You present your case and I'll try and poke holes in it. Then you fill the holes and you can come back to me and then we'll talk. Why aren't you doing that? That's my question. That's what you should be doing. If you get approached, you should say, okay, make a case for me to work with you. Okay, Here's all the holes the way I see it in what you've just said. What about meetings? Are you going to give me feedback? Are you going to give me a submissions report so I know what I've been submitted to and what I'm not getting called in for, so I can make, communications with these casting directors that aren't bringing me in for things that I would be absolutely right for? Like, how are we going to improve things, right? How are we staying on top of things? If you aren't already doing that, that's what I suggest you do. You take charge, you interview agents and tell them you're considering them. And then if you find one you like, fine, go with them. But never let somebody else come along and bamboozle you and play upon your fears of not having an agent, because you are far better off not having an agent, depending on yourself and your wits and your guile and all of that, than you are sitting on the couch waiting for the phone to ring, which is what most actors tend to do. They're dying to get an agent. Why? Because they're too scared to do anything actually for themselves. But if you actually started doing things for yourself, reaching out to people on social media, knocking on their doors, introducing yourself, working with them, working for them, working in the industry so you get to know how it works, then you won't have to do all this kind of random stuff. And you will be fully occupied, so that when some rando comes along, just like the person who's trying to sell you magazines at your door, there's no good reason. You weren't thinking about a magazine, so why would you buy one? Don't buy one, because people will try to sell you things when it benefits them. And so you should be doing the selling for yourself because you know how it benefits you. But you should also frame it in a way that benefits them, which is something most salespeople don't even understand yet, right? They're trying to trick you and fool you, and that's basically what this agent was doing, rather than saying, here's all of my cards on the table, you can see everything, this is how I operate, this is how big I am, these are my ambitions, I'd like to bring you along. Are you interested? Okay, guys, so hopefully this was helpful. It's going to help you in some of your decision making with regards to random people that enter your life for no particular reason, and they can't even explain themselves and don't want to explain themselves, and how you can have far more control over your life and your acting career and develop relationships that will last a lifetime. Because why would you get involved in someone who you didn't want to have a lifetime relationship with? If you like this, make a comment in the comment section below. Please ask me anything. If you have any video suggestions, I'd be more than happy to entertain those ideas. And I wish you all the best. And like, subscribe, click the bell for notifications. Share this for someone who it could help out. Someone who is looking for an agent and thinks they have to take the first one that comes along, because that's a huge mistake waiting to happen. I will talk to you soon.